You've been watching the live session, Detroit Legacy Leaders, on our coverage of the Mackinac Policy Conference on MiVote.org here with Detroit Public Television. I'm Christy McDonald. Thanks so much for joining us. It is day 2 of the Mackinac Policy Conference, and we're coming to you live from the lobby of the Grand Hotel. It's not every day that you see a news set rolls into the lobby of the Grand Hotel, but this is where we will be for the next 2 days as we cover this conference that's put on every year by the Detroit Regional Chamber, really bringing business leaders, politicians, educators all into one place and talking about the future of Michigan. And joining me now is Cindy Pasky. She is the president and the CEO of Strategic Staffing Solutions in Detroit. And Cindy, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
So how have you found the conference so far, and what kind of good conversations have you been having over the last 2 days?
I found the conference to be very productive. I really have a set of hats that I'm wearing. So, of course, my first priority is always S3, Strategic Staffing Solutions. I'm also chair of the Downtown Detroit Partnership. So we have a lot of things going on. We have a biz legislation that we're moving through the House, and we want to get passed. And then we're very involved, S3 is very involved in the community. We're working with the Humane Society, the Detroit Institute of Arts. So I've got all of those hats, and I've tried to mix it all together.
How do you keep track of all that? But really, they all intertwine.
They should all intertwine, right? I mean, a corporation, if they're a good corporate citizen, should be engaged in their business first, their customers' business, and then their community, and then politics.
Let's talk about the engagement in the community, and you've been a very big booster for the city of Detroit, and it's no secret that while the city of Detroit isn't officially a large agenda items here at the conference, it's what people are talking about in the health of the city, the survival of it, and what the future will end up being. How difficult is it to operate with your business in the city under the problems that they have right now financially?
I think you could make it difficult. We don't. We don't see it as a barrier. We've been in Detroit since 1990. My husband and I live in the city of Detroit. I've lived in the city since 1986. And so what we say is it shows the tenacity, the commitment, and the vision that S3 has. We're in the comeback city. We chose the comeback city 23 years ago, and we don't complain about it. We engage to help make it better and to help move it forward.
So how have you engaged with the local government and with the local politics?
Well, I chair the Downtown Detroit Partnership, which is a CEO-based board, and we're all about making Detroit clean, safe, and inviting. The chief of police sits on our board. We work closely with the administration. We work closely with Lansing. We've donated time and staff to the mayor's office when he's needed it. And we engage in politics. We're interested in who's going to run for office, what they stand for, what they believe in. And we're not afraid to tell someone if we think they made the wrong decision or they disappointed us.
So what has your reaction been to what's happened in the city of Detroit over the last year and the fact that now it's under emergency management?
I think we have a governor that makes his decisions based on what he thinks is right, not based on what a poll says, not based on a political party.
So you think he made the right call?
I think he made the right call. I think he did. Have any of us chosen this? Well, of course not. But there weren't many other options, and there were a lot of people that didn't want this call, but there wasn't a viable plan that they put on the table that said this would work better than what he's done.
I think it's interesting to look at the city of Detroit, and it feels like it's unique in the country where you have business leaders who are so personally invested in seeing this city succeed.
Yes.
Would you say that it's unique in the nation in that way?
It's unique in the nation, it's unique outside of the nation. And it's when I travel around for business, we go from here to California, across the pond, and I'll be in Charlotte, and the Charlotte Chamber will be like, why don't you move here? And what is it about Detroit? And I said, we have hands-on engaged CEOs, and yes, they'll engage their teams and their staff because they have large jobs in big companies, but they engage themselves. They actually show up at the events. They write the checks. They go to the meetings. They create the ideas. They're part of the committees, and they move very quickly.
What kind of conversation is that, Cindy? Do you get a call from another CEO and say, hey, look, we really need your help on this project?
Yes, it's that simple, which is magic, right? That's how things are supposed to work. So there isn't my person will call your person and we'll send you this report. It is like you get a phone call and say, we need to have more police cars and more EMS vehicles. How do we get this done? And I need you to do this, and this is your role, and I need you to do this, and will you sign on for this? And the answer is absolutely, we're all in, let's just do it. And in what other places could have taken a year, it takes a month maybe.
So what kind of conversations do you want to have up here in the next day or so that when you leave the island, you'll say, my work is done here?
Well, I have a couple of very important customers that are here, so I want to make sure that they feel that and recognize that we value and appreciate their business. It's a way to say a personal thank you, even though, you know, I see them on a regular basis as I should. So that's always my number one priority is S3, and my number one priority in S3 is always our existing customers first. Then I want to make sure that everybody understands that the Downtown Detroit Partnership is making progress, that we have a great CEO-based board, that we're clean, safe, and inviting in Detroit. I want to get that biz legislation done and passed. The governor's ready to sign it. The business community's ready for it. And then I want to help move the agenda of organizations that are near and dear to our hearts, like the Michigan Humane Society, and what's going to happen with animal control, and what's going to happen with the new facility, and all of those type of things.
Well, good luck with all of your work, and I know you're going to be busy the next 24 hours, I think.
I am. Thank you very much.
Cindy Pasky from Strategic Staffing Solutions. Thanks so much for joining us. And you are watching live coverage of the Mackinac Policy Conference. Stay with us. We will be right back.